everyone, it's Amber Spotted Elk at the Paper Owl, and today we have 3 fun DIYs in store. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Comment below, tell me which project is your favorite, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe to my channel, hit that bell button so you get notified every single time that I upload. And without further ado, let's get started.
Hello, so we are starting with these scarves from the Dollar Tree, this orange and black buffalo check. I just thought it was super cute, a nice fun Halloween decor piece. So we're going to be making some pumpkins. Now I got those little squishy things in the middle from the Dollar Tree as well. I can't remember what I got them for, and I thought they would be good as kind of a base filler for these pumpkins, and it turned out great. And then I just used some extra polyfill that I had around, and you can see I just kind of laid the scarf out. I cut it in half, and then just kind of took it, tied it in the middle, and then put those edges that were loose and glued them towards the center. So super easy, super simple, nothing crazy. And I just kind of went around and cleaned up all of the edges that were not tucked in to make them lay nice and flat. And then after that was kind of good, and I had kind of a base design or a base shape for the pumpkin, I took some twine and wrapped it around to kind of give it that divided, or not divided, but the different sections that you usually see a pumpkin have. So I think I did 6 of these, but I just took a piece of twine and then laid it down flat and then tied it in the middle to kind of create those sections. And then I just kind of went around and tucked things in and fluffed things out and kind of made it look as pumpkin shape as possible. So you can see that's what I'm doing here. And you just kind of have to play with it and move things around and fluff things up and pull things in and tuck things in and all of that to kind of give it that nice shape. And I'm using some hot glue to maintain some of that in some of these spots as well. But you can see the bottom looks really nice with the twine. And then I used some extra greenery I had around to put at the top, one of the wooden stems from the Dollar Tree, and just hot glued that down. I used some of the pipberry and just created a little squiggly, and then I also used just a bow, and that is it. So super easy, super simple, and I really like the way these turned out. I love that orange buffalo check, and for $1 for fabric, honestly, is such a good deal. Fabric can be so expensive, so if you can find $1 scarf at the Dollar Tree to use for fabric, then that's a great deal. So you can see I just put the little squiggly out of the pipberry. Now this I got from, the pipberry I got is from Hobby Lobby, but Dollar Tree is carrying some this year. I just was not able to find it at any of my stores, which I was really sad about, but you can get it for a pretty similar price, and you actually get a little bit more if you go to Hobby Lobby. So I end up cutting a lot of the berries off of there. It just looked a little too congested, so I did keep some of them on, but just cut off a few here and there to make it look a little bit better. So, and I really like the way these turned out, and it's a nice Halloween decoration. I know that Halloween is going to be a little bit different this year, so I figured it'd be nice to have some Halloween decorations around the house. And then I am just doing a little finger bow, super simple, basically like a shoestring bow, and then just hot gluing that on there. But yeah, again, with Halloween probably not being the same this year, I usually don't decorate a whole lot for Halloween, but I figure this year I'm going to put some things up and try and make it a little bit more fun. And I just did that twice. So there are the 2 finished products, and I loved the way that these turned out. I think they are super cute for $1. Next up are these shadow boxes, or they're not shadow boxes, they're like little bank boxes, I guess, piggy bank boxes. So these are from the Dollar Tree as well. So one says Unicorn Fund, the other one says Mermaid Fund. I'm actually going to take some alcohol and a razor blade and scrape that writing off of the glass, which actually wasn't too hard. So I take the backing off there, that little piece of paper out of there as well. And you can see I get the alcohol. I just pour a little bit on there, and I believe I let that sit for a minute. And yeah, I get the other one out and pour some alcohol on that one as well. And really, it was not hard to get that writing off. I was a little bit concerned that it was going to be hard and I'd be scratching the glass, but really it was not an issue at all. Like, it was, I mean, it took a few minutes of work, but it was worth it, I think. So definitely worth getting that writing off of there. So if I think I've seen some people use Goo Gone as well, so that may be an option too. I may try that next time, but like I said, honestly, the alcohol seemed to work fine. And what I did is I just took that like regular razor blade, and then I ended up putting some tape along the edge so that like I didn't hurt my fingers, because it has kind of those grooves where it should fit into a box cutter. So I ended up putting some just like some masking tape along the one edge of the razor blade that I was holding, just to make it a little bit easier to handle. So just in case you're doing this kind of the same way, that's what worked well for me. So but yeah, really, you just kind of get up under those words and it kind of starts to just peel right up. So yeah, I was pretty happy with it. So definitely give this a shot, or don't feel afraid to do that. So I'm showing you here, I got them all cleaned off. I put a piece of paper down in there instead of using painter's tape around the edges. I figure I just put a piece of paper, cover the glass up, and paint the edges. So I'm using Waverly white chalk paint to go over this kind of glitter paint job that they have on theirs. So again, I mean, use whatever color you like, whatever color goes with what you're looking for and what's going to make you happy. I really only did one coat, and then I kind of went back and touched up a few spots where the glitter looked like it was showing through. But this chalk paint covered it up so nice. Like I was really happy with it, actually. So and I think I was just going to use these kind of as wall decor pieces, but I think I'm actually going to use them as little banks and create a savings fund for something fun. So I'm using some scrapbook paper here. This is some paper that I had on hand from a Jen Hadfield collection. I like to do different paper crafts, so I do have paper pads laying around, but Hobby Lobby has paper on sale for four pieces of paper for $1, like all the time. So if you don't have paper laying around, then that's a great option. Or honestly, like you can go online and print different designs. So I just traced out the back cardboard piece of that, cut it out and put some glue down, and then I use this to kind of flatten it out, make sure there weren't any bubbles. You can use like a credit card or something like that as well to make sure that all the bubbles are out from underneath it and that the glue is spread around nicely, and it'll just make for better adherence of the paper to that backing. So but yeah, so like I said, if you don't have one of these, a credit card works out great. And then I used a couple of the little like cutouts that were in this paper pad that just had some sayings on there. So I just decide which ones I'm going to use. And I punch a hole in this one with my hole punch, and just tie a piece of twine around it. Oh my goodness, I cannot speak. So I put a little brad on there as well, or sorry, not a brad, an eyelet, so that the twine goes through and doesn't rip the paper. I ink around some of the edges with just a little ink that I had, ink pad that I had from Michael's. So again, you can see I'm using my tool to kind of make sure all the glue is down. I just think that it makes things turn out a little bit better. You're not going to have like lumps where there's extra glue and it's not straightened out. So I think it's just a good practice to do. So again, I'm using that ink pad, just going around the edges. It just adds a little bit more depth. So I do like to do that. You could always take like a Sharpie marker and go around the edges, or not do that if you don't want to. You could also not have like the little cutouts that I put in here. You could just have it be the plain paper backing. I considered doing that because I did like the look of that, but at the end I decided to use the little cutouts. So I took my finger and just cleaned up any little bits of paint that got on the glass, and I was able to just scrape away really easy with just my fingernail. So and I just put the backing in. It's got a little bit of a groove there, and then a little piece to kind of hold it in place, like a picture frame. And that's it. These were super easy, super cute. This I was so excited to do. I got this sign on clearance for $5 at Walmart. I think it was part of the Pioneer Woman decorations, summer decorations. So this is a great wood round, or I guess it's like particle board or whatever. But that hello is made out of a tin, or a metal, and so I just unscrewed it from the back. And then it said hello summer, and summer was in these little wooden pieces, and I just popped those off. I didn't show you guys that part. I apologize. I'm not sure what happened to the footage, but I just popped off those little wooden pieces, so you can kind of see some remnants there. I get my hand sander and just sand this blue down. I was gonna just sand it a little bit and then paint over it. There was actually quite a bit of blue paint on this. I was really surprised. So I did sand it a little more than I had anticipated, just to make sure that I was going to get good coverage with the paint. So I go over where the wood pieces were that spelled out summer, and just really tried to clean that up because there was some of it left behind. So I wanted it to be nice and smooth. So there you can see now I've got it sanded down. Most of the blue is off. I do take a wipe and clean that all off, make sure that you have a nice surface to start with, that there's not any extra paint that's been sanded off left behind, or dirt or anything. It's always good to clean your pieces before you paint them. So I am taking Waverly's mineral paint, I believe. It's their gray paint. And I just go over this. I did end up doing closer to 2 coats, just to make sure that I was getting good coverage over that blue, because it was wanting to kind of show through in some areas if it didn't have really good coverage. So that's what I recommend is, if you do 1 coat, let it dry, make sure you can see where any spots may need to be touched up, so that you can make sure you have good coverage. So I got it all painted. I did the edges. I'm getting ready to put the hello back in there, so you can just see its little metal wires that go in holes that are already there. And then I'm just twisting it up like it had it. And I'm using my wire cutters to actually hold on and twist it. And so that's all on there. I used my Cricut to spell out the word autumn, and I used a different font because I do like the way the 2 different fonts look together. And so I'm just putting that on there. You could always use like Dollar Tree stickers. You could paint it on there with a stencil. You could do it freehand, whatever you have, whatever is going to make you happy. And next up, I am doing this bow. I start out with looping it just on top of itself, and I'm making sure it's looped 3 times on each side. I am taking a pipe cleaner and finding the middle and just twisting that around, and then once that pipe cleaner is on there, I just take out and I start fluffing this bow so that it kind of is even on each side, and I've got it, you know, how I want it to look. So really you just kind of pull and fluff and twist and do what's going to make it look as good of a bow as you want it to. The next one I just fold over twice on itself, and I make sure that the loops are a little bit smaller so that you can see the bow behind it. So this will go in the middle of that chevron bow. Both of these ribbons are from the Dollar Tree. I really like their fall ribbon this year. I hope that they come out with some good Christmas ribbon as well. So, but yes, so this one will only have 2 on each side, and then I cut some tails to glue on the back of that double bow there as well. And I'm just cutting that into, or I'm just dovetailing those ends, so cutting a little triangle out. It gives it a nice finished look. So, and I am gluing those together, putting them kind of in the corner to make sure that you can still see the word there, and you can see the tails. And I love the way this turned out, and I love the fall bow, and you could even reuse this and change it out for summer and spring. And here are our final projects again, our pumpkins. They turned out so cute. I absolutely love these. So great for using that chevron scarf from the Dollar Tree. I absolutely love that. It's a nice Halloween piece that's not too like crazy, spooky, gory. And here are our boxes that we made, and I'm so excited to actually put these to use, and I think my son will like them too. It's always nice to be able to see the money that you're saving, so I think I am going to try and tuck away some money in these and see what we do. So next up again is our wood round, and I'm so excited about how this turned out. I really love this. I love the bow. I love that I was able to get that ribbon for super inexpensive, and the whole thing just turned out so great. Please comment below, let me know which one is your favorite, and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Thank you so much for watching, and happy crafting.